What's up, everybody, and welcome to today's 30-minute hip adduction focused kin stretch class brought to you by Stretch Effect. My name is Coach Luke, and I'll be taking you through today's class. So when we look at proper hip function, right, everyone likes to think of internal and external rotation as the prerequisite, which is true. That's definitely what we need to have good, clean, healthy hip function. But people tend to think about kind of the other actions of the hip outside of flexion and extension, like when you look at like a squat motion, right? So the less thought of motions of the hip are adduction, which is going towards the midline of the body, and abduction, going away from the midline of the body. So abduction is a classic one when you look at the squat motion. You want to abduct the hips, almost like you're trying to rotate your hips out to give you more strength, give you more muscle mass in those heavy squats. But adduction is definitely a key motion to healthy hip function in terms of stabilizing the hip and getting the most out of the function, overall function, whether you're squatting, deadlifting, running, playing sports, everything that you're doing. Proper adduction, right? So going towards the midline of the body with your leg is super key, and that's the one that we're going to be focusing on today. So to start, we're going to go into some hip carves and get everything nice and warmed up, and then we're going to get into some passive range lift-offs to kind of get familiar with the tissue, strengthen them, lengthen them with some pails and rails, and then we'll come back to some more of those lift-offs. Okay, so we're going to lay on our side. We're going to start with some side-lying hip carves. You can use that block as your pillow if you got one. If not, you can just use your arm. We're going to make sure that we're nice and flat on the floor with our body here. So bottom leg is down, bottom arm can go to the floor if you got the block. You can also go there as your pillow, or you can bring your arms out in the front, give you some stability from there. I'm just going to go from there. I'm going to drive up with that knee, come up and open, internally rotate as I extend back and drive through. As I come over the top, I extend, come over, and so this motion here, as I'm closing it up, this is my abduction, right? So coming towards the midline of the body there, and through, and reverse. Just go one more time. Open, internally rotate as I extend back, swing through, back to start position. Core stays engaged, especially as I extend, heel drives back to the wall, over the top, and around. Back to the start position. Let's go two there. We'll switch. So two on the other side. Switch here. One arm is down. You bring both arms out front. Use that for your pillow. Knees are stacked. Come up. Open. Internally rotate. Come around. And through. Core stays engaged. The rest of my body is tight to match the tension of that hip. So if I'm thinking about hip driving through about a 50% medium of air, right? So 100% would be like, oh, I almost can't move, right? 50%, it's about 50% tension. I want to make sure that my upper body matches that to stay stable. Nothing else is moving except that hip. So coming from there, I'm going to open all the way up and over. So this motion here is my abduction as I close it up back through. So I'm just going to stay on this side. If you have a block, you continue to use as your pillow. If you want to stay on your side, we're going to do some adduction lift-offs, right? So the adduction will be coming up, right? So it's towards the midline of my body here. This leg will be straight. Take this leg over the top, got the heel right in front of my leg. I'm going to have a straight line from the elbow, my hip, to my knee, to my heel. So this would be a little bit more challenging. This is kind of our easiest position here. So if you have that block and you want to use it, you can stay there. You can come up to me. So you can see my leg gets about a foot or so off the floor, so I want to get to my elbow position here because that's going to make it about 6 inches off the floor. If this is easy for you, you can lift your rib cage to get even more. That's going to challenge it even more. And then if you're really mobile, kind of come up to this kind of position there, leaning on the arm. So from there, we're just going to go this leg straight. I'm just going to take this leg straight up and back down. So that motion, right? You feel those inner thighs working here. Pull that leg up towards the midline of the body. That is my adduction. From there, I will just stay straight, come back down. We're going to 5 reps here. Stay straight, block out this leg, up and down. If this position is too much for you, you can always have this leg come down here and just kind of stay there. Just making sure that this leg, bottom leg, stays straight. So I can really use the inner thigh as much as possible. Let's go 3 more there. Let's come up, back down, 2 more, up, down, last one, come up, and down. Just trying to be familiar with those adductors here, kind of warm them up. But we're getting into our pails rails work that we're going to do for today. So this leg stays straight, this leg comes over the top. Again, elbows a little bit more challenging than laying on your side. but not as challenging as having that straight arm or even lifting the rib cage. So play around with what's best for you. You want to think, get that heel, get that leg about 6 inches off the floor here. Okay, from there, drive that hip down, lift that foot, and back down. Lift that foot, back down 2, up, down 3, up, down 4. Take this heel, goes right on the leg, right? Too far out in front. As we come up, you're going to want to drive forward. So have this leg right on that leg, come up, and back down. Okay, from here we get right into our pillars rails position. So we're going to do 1 round of pillars and rails from our bear sit. So this is slightly about 90 degree bend of the knee here. Feet are out in front, ankles bent. I'm going to sit up nice and tall. I'm going to use my arms for stability here to pull myself up, and then my elbows are driving out into my knees, in for my inner thighs, to drive those hips open. Get a nice stretch through those adductors, right? From there, I'm just going to breathe. We're going to hang out here for about 2 minutes in this passive stretch. Really get comfortable, really get familiar with this position, because we're going to do a similar position next, what's called frog, which will be very similar, but now we'll be prone on our elbows or our hands. Okay, so from there, we're just going to breathe for about 2 minutes. Open up as with each exhale. Try to drive open a little bit more. Things get taller, and then just breathe. So think 4 to 5 count on the inhale, right? So belly breath coming in, 7 stands out. As I exhale, double the length of the time of the inhale, right? So if I inhale for about 4 to 5 count, exhale for about 8 to 10 count. Super slow, letting all the air go out. Drop that rib cage down as you fully exhale. Each exhale, see if you can expand that range of motion a little bit more. Let you sit up a little bit, kind of poke that chest out, and then drive those knees wider down. You just want to get the deepest possible stretch through those inner thighs or that adductor muscle group. The focus of today's class. The more you can open them up, the better you'll feel, the better you'll function. Okay? So let's take about another 30 seconds here. So our pails will be slowly, so we're going to start build it up for 10 seconds of each second. Build it up by about 10%, right? So not just 10 to 20. Think in your head you're going from 10, 11, 12, but it's happening gradually. So we build up from about 10, or 0, I should say, up to 100%. We're going to hold that 100% for 10 seconds. And then we're going to go rails. So I'm trying to stay here. I'm trying to pull my knees away from my arms. So you can go, so you keep the arms here and then just drive the knees closer to the floor, or you can, as you start to drive and open up, you can remove the arms, go here, just trying to drive those knees towards the ground. We're going to do that right into it. We're going to go for 15 seconds, and we'll relax, we'll hang out and stretch a little bit before we move into our frog. Okay? So that's pails and rails for bear sit. So we're going to go from here, sit up nice and tall, drive those arms down, take a breath in, slow by that torso, and then slowly start driving your knees into your elbows into the knees, just getting all that contraction here. We're at 10%, and slowly building up each second, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%. Body starts to shake a little bit. Make sure we stay tight. 70, 80, 90, and max effort. Hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Pull those knees away from the arms. Drive those knees towards the floor. Use those outer glutes. Drive open, open, open. Get more, get more, get more, get more. Open up, open up, open up, open up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, just go there. Take a breath. Slowly come out of that there. Just feel those groin muscles, those adductors working. Pull them in. Okay, we get right into our frog. So it's the same position as our bear pose. So now we're going to have our knees spread. So the knees will stay at about 90 degrees. Okay, you can play with the foot position a little bit, right? So if it's more comfortable, knees out, more comfortable, knees in. You just want to slowly drop down. So when the knees are open, and I'm getting a good stretch on those adductors, on that groin muscle group there. Everyone's gonna be a little bit different, right? So if you're really mobile, you'll probably be able to sit back a little bit more, be able to kind of play with the position a little bit, open up those knees more. We're just gonna hang out here breathe and relax, okay? So this is another time where you can use, if you want to stack blocks, you can go kind of stack 2 blocks. As an example, stack 2 blocks under the torso. It's easier to kind of hold that position there. Get a good stretch, not having to use your core quite as much. That's totally okay. If you want to go 1 block, you can do that as well. If you're super mobile, you can go all the way down to the floor. For me, my best position here is about on my elbows, still keeping my core nice and braced. But then as I breathe, I'm just trying to actively keep opening up those hips. It's just the same thing as my bear sit, right? Same relative action of the hips, except now I'm prone. Chest is going towards the floor, body's staying tight. You can play with a posterior or anterior pelvic tilt. So you kind of lift your tailbone, stick your butt out more, tuck your tailbone more. Slowly you can start to sit your hips back, kind of more in a hip flex position, almost like a really deep squat. Just play with what works best for you, what allows you to get the best stretch on those hips. If bear sit was very challenging for you, then you can definitely go back to bear sit. That is okay, because this one is probably a lot. If bear sit was challenging, this one is very challenging. Just focus on your breathing. Try to relax as much as possible. As you relax more, you probably open up your knees a little bit more, you probably sit back a little bit more. Just try and find the best stretch for you. Okay, so quick reminder, our pills, I'm driving my knees into the floor. Right, so I'm trying to close my knees, I'm trying to drive them down. But again, because this is a pretty vulnerable position for a lot of people, don't go right into it, right? We're building up for 10 seconds, and we're going to hold whatever your max is here for 10. You don't need to go up to 100, you can stop at 60, stop at 70, whatever you feel like is best for you. We're going to hold that for another 10, and then we're going to rail, so I'm trying to drive my knees away, almost like I'm trying to pull my knees towards the ceiling. Open up those hips even more, you can drive those knees up and out, even more, pulling yourself deeper into that stretch. Okay, so we're going to hold here for another 10 seconds. Just keep breathing. Get as deep in the range of motion as you safely can, right? Greatest, safest being the key word, effort. Okay, take a breath in, solidify that core, and then start driving the knees into the floor here. Start driving down, drive down, down, building it up. 50%, 60%, 70%, 80, 90, and max effort hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Drive those knees away like you're trying to drive those knees towards the ceiling. Try and open up those hips more, feel those outer glutes, outer hips working here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Just relax, sink in a little bit deeper. One more big breath. Come out of that there, nice and slow. Best way is just really easy, drop the body down a little bit. Come back up. And we'll sit. Kind of feels kind of good on the hips there. We're gonna go back to some hip cars, just like we started the class. And then we're back into some passive range liftoffs to kind of feel those adductors that work a little bit. And then we'll go into some different pills and what else we got here, okay? So just go back on your side. If you have a block, go back under there. We'll get some motion back in these hips here, okay? So we're gonna drop down to your side, hands out front. Let's go. 2, so that should feel really good right there, right? So that's what we just kind of worked on. That's our abduction, right? But it's definitely controlled by the groin as well, those adductors that we just worked on. That is a key component in that motion. Good. And then this is the adduction, right? So that's groin muscles pulling in and through, up, open, rotate, come around, back through. Last one here, go reverse, over the top, and come through. From here, while we're already on this side, take this leg straight. This leg comes over the top. Again, if you want to stay down on your side, it'll be a little bit easier. We're just from here, lock out that leg, and then just lift, back down. Lift, back down. So 3 more, lift, back down, lift, back down, last one, and lift, hold it, back, switch. 2 cars on the other side, and then 5 lift-offs for adduction there. Select the left side for the right hip car, so you got 2 reps, arms out front, you've got 45 degrees. If you want to come up to 90, that's totally cool too. All different positions you can play with. Biggest hip car you can. Only the hips, right? Spine stays still, core stays engaged. Now we're just trying to get some life back in those hips after we get that bear sit. Frog pose. Yeah, come around. Back. Open over the top. Around. And back in. Okay, so this top leg, or sorry, bottom leg goes straight. Top leg comes over the top. If you want to hold it here, start the video as well. Make sure this bottom leg is locked out. Flex that quad. Squeeze the knee all the way straight. Dorsiflex that ankle. So as you drive up, try not to just lift the toe. Try to think like you're lifting that heel, right? So I'm looking here, up. That's 1, up. 2, up. 3, up. 4, last one, drive up, hold it, and back. Very good. Let's come back up to a seated position here. We're getting into some butterfly work. So the butterfly is very similar action as our bear sit, right? With the butterfly, we're just gonna have our heels together, sitting up, holding those ankles, elbows pressed down with those legs, driving down, feeling that contraction there, and just breathe, right? So you feel that stretch, open up those adductors here, elbows drive down to the legs, just trying to sit up nice and tall. If you're really mobile, you want to lean forward, so think lift the chest, and so you try to stick your butt out, and then you can lean forward a little bit there. That'll, see as I do that, my knees want to close up a little bit more, right? So you can just continue to use those elbows to drive those knees away. Good stretch through those adductors, like going musculature there, and just breathe, and relax. About 2-minute passive stretch here. Very similar motion as our pails and rails, right? As I come up from my pails, I'm driving the knees up, elbows drive down. I'm trying to just get a good muscle contraction all through those inner thighs. And then my rails will be trying to pull away, trying to drive my knees lower to the ground, okay? So we're gonna go 1 round here, and then we're gonna do something that's called passive range holds. We'll get into that when we get there. Okay, so you can sit tall, use those elbows to drive down into that stretch. You can go from the kind of the inner thighs, you can go down more towards the knees, whatever works best for you. Again, we just want to try to stay tall. Just breathe on the slow inhale, right? 4 to 5 count inhale. 8 to 10 count exhale. Can't stress enough how important that part is, because the more you can relax, the more your body, knows it's safe by kind of, which is indicated by your breathing. If you're holding your breath, your body feels like it's, stressed out, it's under attack, right? We just want to make sure breathing is there nice and slow. So the slower you exhale, the slower you breathe, the more calm your body gets, the more range of motion it will give you. The deeper that range of motion you can train. Okay, so we're just going to stay here, continue to breathe for about another 10 seconds. So take 1 more big inhale, 1 more big exhale. And from there, let's slowly start driving knees into elbows, elbows into knees. We're at 10%. We're going to build this up for 10. 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%, stay tall, 80, 90, and max out all 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Pull, 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 knees to the floor. Drive away, drive away, drive away, drive away, drive away, drive away. The arms stay still, legs drive towards the floor. We're trying to open those knees up. Keep driving, keep driving, keep driving, keep driving, keep driving. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Sit into that there, just relax and breathe. So we kind of feel this new kind of open position, right? So we kind of started up here, finish those pillars and rails, we're kind of more down here. What we're going to do is we're going to try to solidify that position, get stronger in that new end range position by doing some passive range holds, they're called. So passive range holds will be me being in that position there. So what I finished with my pillars and rails. I'm going to do that same rails contraction, try to hold. I'm going to move my arms to try not to let any inward motion kind of happen there. So we're going to go 5-second holds for some passive range holds, and then we'll kind of change positions. We'll get into some little slightly different pillars rails, and then some eccentric. So that'll be a new one for a lot of us, okay? So we're gonna get here, so sit tall as we can be. Brace that core. Rails contractions, try to drive your knees to the floor and release the arms and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down. So we're just relaxing here. Continue to try that, do that rails contraction for those 5-second holds. And we'll relax for about 5 seconds. We'll get right back in, okay? So think sit tall, drive the knee away from the arms, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back down. That's 2. Relax, brace the core, hold, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back down. That's 3. See if you can sit taller now. See if you can bring your hands up a little bit wider. Give you more leverage. Sit tall. We got 2 more. Here we go. Brace the core, get tall, hold, and release. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back down. Ooh, last one here. Find the best position for you. Get taller, drive those knees away, brace that core, knees towards the floor, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Slowly come out of that there. Those inner thighs, those groins, abductors should be nice and cooked. Ooh, shake the legs out. Maybe a new position for a lot of us, which is it's good. Explore new ranges, new challenges, new tissue. From there, we're going to go up into what's called a half kneeling position. And then I'm going to brace my core, squeeze this glute. I'm just going to slowly walk this leg out as far as it'll go into abduction, which is driving away from the midline, like we talked about in the class. But I want to go so far that now my belly button starts to rotate this way, right? So I'm going to think I got a laser from my belly button going straight out front. I will just open up, so keep this back knee straight. As much as I can go till my belly button wants to rotate. So as soon as I feel like you need to come in just a little bit. From there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down to my left side, right here. So my left hand is in front of my left leg. And then I'm just going to go from there. So because we're not doing a true stretch in this position, we're not going to do the true passive stretch of the pillars and rails. We're going to do 1 set, pillars and rails. So in this position here, my pillars will be driving my knee into my arm, into my body. So I want to stay tight through here. And then my rails is trying to drive my knee away from the body, opening up more, feeling that stretch as we open up there. You should feel that outer hip working to open up. We'll go right into some eccentrics for abduction in this leg, which will be crushing this leg in, right? So the tension will be driving in. So you just feel this muscle contract. And then all I'm going to do is slowly lean out, feeling this muscle still holding on as I stretch it. And then I'll come back in. So we're shooting 3 eccentrics there. We'll switch sides, finish with some passive range liftoffs, and we're done. So we're going to go 1 set here. So think, get here, left hand comes down. I'm in a good stretch position there. I get in this position here, and then take a breath in. Slowly start driving knee into arm back into knee, just contracting your adductors here. Just building that up, building that up, building that up. 50%, 60%, 70, 80, 90, and 100% effort drive. 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep your arm here, drive the knee away from the arm, open up more, open up more, open up more. Feel that outer hip, glute firing as you try to pull that knee away from the arm. Keep going, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. You can back the arm. So just like we said, so keep this knee right here, belly button stay straight ahead, brace that core, so that you're not going to move this leg, just the tension is driving in. So if you think drive in with this leg here, you feel that the inner thigh kind of turning on and firing, okay? From there, brace that core, stay tight. Keep driving that leg in while I just slowly lean out, lean out, lean out towards this leg and get the max stretch that'll go there. And back. If you're really mobile, you may need to kind of get out even more here. But again, the tighter you contract from there, the better, the more of that eccentric that you'll feel, right? The eccentric is contracting the muscle and then lengthening it, right? So this is contraction as we drive the tension drives in. See how my knee drives in there. Now I'm just slowly driving out in that direction to lengthen this tissue while it's contracting. And come back. Get a little bit wider now as I've done 2 reps. Last one, brace, drive in, and slowly, very slowly, 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 slowly lean out, and come back. Let's go switch sides. So again, we're half kneeling. Core stays engaged, glutes tight, and then we'll just slowly walk out as far as I can go until I feel like my belly button wants to rotate. So about here, here, and then I'm just going to drop to this side. Hand is right in front of that leg. Go and brace that core. This hand can go down as well. This hand can go here. Brace that core. Take a breath in. Start driving knee into arm, arm back into knee. We're building that up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Max ever hold. 10, 9, 8, 7. Drive together. 6. Feel that inner thigh working. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rails. Pull away from that arm. Drive that knee towards that wall behind you. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. 10, 9, 8, 7. Get some separation there. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. Keep the same position. Belly button straight ahead. Glute is tight. I'm going to track this leg in towards that way. Feel those adductors working. They're cooked like mine. They should be shaking a little bit. From there, I'm going to drive in and then just very slowly keep everything straight ahead. Just stand, so we're just driving, 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 stretching the adductor while it's contracting, and come back. That's 1. We got 2 more there. More the arms out here for stability. That's good too. Whatever you can do to drive more tension to that torso into those adductors. Tract it while you lengthen it. Get those eccentrics working there. Stretch, 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 stretch. Back in. We got 1 more. Nice and slow here. Brace. Contract. Very slowly. Drive, 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 drive. Get to your end position. Feel that stretch. And back in. Okay? Let's go back to some lift-offs that we did in the beginning of the class, and then we're done for the day. So we just worked that left one, so let's go on our right side. We'll go here. This one will want to be a little bit more challenging. We're going to do 5-second holds. So we're coming up, heel in front of the leg. This leg is locked out. Body stays tight. If you want to lift up, make it a little bit more challenging, or again, if you want the hand, makes it even more challenging. We're going to go up, we're going to hold 5 seconds, 5 reps, switch sides, then we're done. Okay? So let's drive up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. Back up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. Make it a little more challenging. You won't be able to get as high. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3. I'm going to put a yoga block right here. Keep you up. That's good too. You just use your hand to keep yourself honest. As you go up, the higher you go, the less you'll move, right? So we're going up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one here. Breath, brace, and lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down. Let's go switch sides. Last 5 here, guys, and we're done for the day. Finish strong. Leg is straight. Heel is right on my leg, so I don't drop forward as I go up. Use that body to keep yourself tight. Lock out that leg and lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1. Lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. Here and lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3. 2 more. lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Should be shaking like me. Last one here. Best one yet. Lift and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 5. Those adductors, those groin muscles should be smoked at that point. Good job today, guys. That was awesome. If you made it through that whole class, I salute you. That was definitely a tough class. Like I said, I started with the class. That's an area, that's an action of the hip, and group of muscles that people tend to forget about when they think about hip function. Again, hip IR and ER, internal external rotation, are the keys, are the prerequisites for everything else. But don't forget about abduction. Abduction, just opening up, right? The better those feel, the better those function, the better you go to the squat, the better you'll be able to compete in whatever sports you play, or you just feel better in daily life. So do your cars, do your pills and rows. Thank you for joining me in today's class. Hope to see you at the next one.